Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are so excited to be here once again with Winsome Bentley, and we're all ready, I think, to experience to win. Why not? Let's make our best life here. And she's a lady who's doing a lot, not only for herself, but for you. And she can help you win in so many different ways. Welcome back today. How are you?
Hey, Jill, welcome. Thank you for having me again. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Yes. Welcome back to another week of my podcast. We're going to get into some good stuff today.
Can't wait. Before we do that, we just got to tell our listeners a little bit about you. I'm going to tell them the website, Experience2WIN.com. I could it's easier for you to say because I could be like model, entrepreneur. There's too much. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we're looking forward to today.
Yes. Well, you would have definitely been on the right track, Jill. So, hi, everyone. Welcome to the Winsome Experience. So, I am Winsome Bentley. I am the CEO and founder of Experience2WIN. That's a multifaceted arena that can assist you in being the best you. I cover a variety of areas in my personal life. I'm multifaceted. One of the areas I actually would love to share with y'all is being an author. I actually have a book on Amazon right now. It's called Mind Blown, MINDBLOWN. It's doing really well. I actually got ranked as an Amazon bestseller recently. So I'm very excited about it. Thank you. So I'm looking forward, I'm looking forward to being number one. It's not number one yet, but we claim it and we receive it. And so far, the circulation and the purchases are up there with other bestsellers. And that's how you get ranked in a best-selling rank based on the circulations and things like that. So I'm very grateful for that. It's a very moving, detailed account of how life and lies can end up revealing the truth, how your life as you know it can actually collide with the life that you never knew you had. There are real life situations going on out here with myself, with you, and with everyone else. So it's a very telling tale of how to move and kind of circumnavigate systems like that. So that's just one area. I am also a model. I had an amazing fashion show yesterday in Orlando. It went really well. I'm excited about that. I'm prepping for another fashion show in June, another in July, and New York Fashion Week in September. I will be there. So I'm excited. September 9th and 10th. I will be in New York for New York Fashion Week. Everyone can catch me there. And of course, all of this can be found on www.experience2win. That's experience the number 2, WIN.com. So those are just some of the things that I am moving and shaking and doing. Of course, I do speaking engagements as well. I do creative writing services, and I'm actually getting ready to branch out in some other areas as well. My voice is one of the skill sets that I have, so I love to use it to empower and enable.
Beautiful. Well, it's exciting to have you here. Looking gorgeous as always today.
Oh, thank you. You like the new do?
Yeah, it looks like you got highlights there. And I like your outfit. It's all shiny and silver for those not on the Zoom. They're on if you're on the podcast, but you'll see later if you're not watching now. So what did you have in mind for us today, sweetheart?
Well, just like I got the new do and I got the little short pixie cut, I figured I'd come in and kind of do something new with us. So as I said earlier, every week, we touch on different topics here. So for my podcast this week, I definitely want to touch on something that everyone can relate to. Let's get into the fact of how societal norms are. And I'm talking about what is accepted versus what is actually appropriate.
Okay.
And and that covers a variety of areas, right? So I'm gonna start off with myself because I'm never exempt from anything that I speak about. In order to experience things in life, that's how you become who you are, which is how the name of my company was birthed. So let's start with relationship mishaps. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Do you date, Jill? Do you
Yeah.
date?
Oh my gosh. I've been single like my whole life. I have 2 kids by myself and I'm not the best of relationships. Yes, it's true.
Uh-huh.
I've been dating someone for like 10 months, but he kind of broke up with me recently. So, but we'll see. So
Mhm.
yeah, any advice would be
Yeah.
appreciated. So I'm
Oh,
on the
listen.
prowl. I'm always, I think
We
we love love. We want to be loved. We want to, but it's also hard being loved. I'm going to tell you why, because when it comes to me,
Mhm.
you got to be okay with being number 4 because mommy puts herself first because I'm mom and dad. Then you have my
Okay.
first son, my second son. So it's hard for a guy to say, sure, I don't mind being your number 4, which means really no
Right.
time for you. So it's hard. It's
Mhm.
hard, but yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard, but it's not impossible. And
Yes.
what I'm gonna say about that, I can speak from both realms. So I was married, and I was with him for 18 years, and I divorced him. I divorced him almost 5 years now, and I've been dating on and off since then. And even co-parenting has its own issues built into that. However, dating, even being on a dating app or dating out here in the real world, has so many interwoven little trinkets that I think it's important for people to know. For example, several females who are in my circle, we all date. So of course we kind of just compare and contrast, kind of see what works, what doesn't work. And that's why I asked you, Jill, do you date? Because I would love to know what's in the minds of people, because that's actually what dictates their behavior, how they think and how they feel.
Interesting. Mm.
Yes, how they think, how they feel, their experiences, and even possibly childhood trauma.
Wow.
Childhood trauma. That's what leads to a lot of relationship mishaps. Of course, we know that there are people with manipulative behavior, people with personality disorders, people with mental health issues, people that might even be, mentally challenged. Okay, so we exclude and kind of put them to the side. We're not talking about that. But if we're dealing with a one-on-one, and that could be heterosexual, any kind of homosexuality, whatever is welcomed in your circle and
Yeah.
whatever is welcomed in your lifestyle, it's
Yeah.
still a relationship. It's still a relationship. And we all know, Jill, that relationships cover parent and child, man and woman,
Yeah.
pastor and parishioner, employer employee. I don't care what relationship it
Yeah.
is. It needs some basic factors, and some of those basic factors are genuineness. Some of those basic
Wow.
factors are trust. Some of those
Mm-hmm.
basic factors are vulnerability, even because if I don't know who you are and you don't allow me to know who you are, then all I know is your representative and what you present to me. So if I only know what you present to me and that's not the true you, I'm going to go based off that, but then we're going to eventually end up running into an issue. Why? Because you're not genuinely giving me the opportunity to connect with the real you. So I'm connecting with the persona, the the person that you presented to me, and that's who a person might fall in love with. But being on dating apps or even being out here dating, a lot of times people say they
Yeah.
want genuine true love, but are they actually putting in the genuine effort? That's a real situation, because
Ah.
guess what, Jill? Some people out here are preferring to be single. I know several people out here. It's a preference
Yeah.
for them to be single. It's not a must, it's not a have to, it's not a, oh well, I can't find anyone. No, I'm talking about people, Jill, that are well-rounded, people that have it together in society standards. They're choosing to be single. Why? They're not lowering their standard. They're not
Interesting.
allowing, no, they're not willing to compromise
Wow.
their standards. And I respect that. I respect that. I see it, I understand it, and I agree with it. Do not compromise your standards. Do not compromise your standards, because at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable with your choices, good or bad. And whatever the outcome of that, you have to be okay with also.
Got it. Very, very true. Wow. And can I ask you about your personal life and date? Am I allowed to?
course. Listen, this is my podcast. Everyone has to know me. What I preach is what I live. That's how
Okay.
the name came about. Experience to win. I'm using my experiences, Jill, to win at life in different areas. So of course, I am dating. So as you know, I'm divorced and I'm dating. And in the 4.5 years that I've been divorced, I've dated on and off. At times, I find myself in that same situation as several others where you say, okay, I'm genuinely putting forth an effort. Okay, I'm making myself available. I'm putting myself out there. And I'm telling you, Jill, I've done it. I've traveled for dating. I've had dates travel to me. I've gone away for the weekend. I've done 3 dates in one day, kind of toss it up. Sometimes you connect with someone, right? And it goes really well. And, all of a sudden a curveball kind of comes out of nowhere and you're wondering, hey, what happened? Sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's distance, a lot of times also it could be just people being manipulative. And what I realized too, Jill, people can sometimes get overwhelmed if they feel that they are not up to your standard, or if they feel like, wow, she's well put together, but I'm not, or if they themselves are well put together, but you're not, sometimes it's just the equilibrium is not there. It's so many reasons, so many reasons. But I do want to touch on one thing though, that I said earlier. Trauma in any form also plays an actual fact in people's behavior. And I'm talking about diagnosed and undiagnosed trauma. For example, PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder, but that could be any type of trauma. That could be physical, that could be sexual, that could be mental, that could be financial, that could be emotional. And people respond differently to trauma. Some get professional help, some don't, some self-medicate, some feel they don't have a problem. And then, whether they realize it or not, they actually trigger certain behaviors in other people because they are now dispelling that onto someone else, consciously or unconsciously. Because there's some people that's aware, but they don't want to change. But then you do have people that actually do want to change, but just don't know how. So it's good to be able to have that background in psychology, that background in sociology, not to say I'm the epitome of it, not to say I know it all, but I lived it. I've been married. I've been divorced. I'm dating. I have an understanding of life. I have girlfriends and male friends, family, colleagues. I'm fully invested. I'm invested in today's society. I have my ear to the ground. I have my eyes wide open. I'm paying attention. So that's why it's important for our viewers, our listeners, you, I, and anyone else in this world, if we can care enough to share any information that can help everyone else.
I love that. Care enough to share. Oh, you just taught me something new. I never heard that terminology. It's beautiful.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Jill. And that could be the motto, that could be the motto of today. Let's care enough to share, because that's super important. That's super important. I've been hurt. I've also been in situations that I did not put myself into, but had to find my way out of. A lot of times in life, Jill, I've brushed myself off because people weren't nearby physically or emotionally to help me. But then I've also had times that people helped me as well. So I've been through a multitude of different things. So I feel like I can connect and I can understand a variety of different things. For example, even being on dating apps. Do you use dating apps, Jill? Because I've been on a few.
I've been on eHarmony, and that's it. That's it. And then, but I haven't really used it.
Okay. No
You want
worries.
to hear something interesting?
Yeah.
I applied. Okay. I applied. I guess, did you ever hear of a dating app called Raya or Raya?
No, I've never heard of that one.
Google it. It's Raya, and it's like invitation only. It's supposed to be very like selective. I applied years ago. They just accepted my invitation like last week. So I don't know anything about So
what?
I don't know if that's a sign, but yeah, it's like working in the television business. I don't know what it, but Google it. You have to, and then you
Okay.
only can get in if somebody knows you and sends you an invite. It's something. So someone must have known me.
What?
Just Google it. But go ahead. Yeah. Raya or Raya?
Oh, it's very exclusive. Okay. All
Tell
right.
me, which ones have you used?
I've actually used Bumble. I've used Black People Meet. I've used BLK. And those are the three that I've kind of done over the years.
Okay.
I've also met people in person. You know, there's people that have come to me, you know, from friends or family. Hey, such and such likes you, or such and such is interested, or, you know, people actually, you know, want actually approach me, whether I'm at the grocery store or the gas station. So you meet people through a variety of ways. And, you know, a lot of times for me, you know, I hear this, oh, you're very confident. You know, that could be intimidating. And that actually is a bothersome statement to me and to several other people I know. Yeah, male friends of mine, I ask them their feedback. I have several brothers. So, Jill, I have 6 brothers. Okay.
Wow. Several.
Yes,
Several, a
yes.
lot.
Yes. So I talk to my brothers on a variety of different topics, and they give good feedback, everything I may not agree with, but it gives me a perspective to learn, you know, learn how men think. Because my dad, my biological dad is not alive. So I do feed off a lot of what they say and things like that. But being intimidated actually bothers me when people say that, because anyone that truly knows me knows I am very loving. I'm very humble by nature. Not a pushover, not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. No, 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 not a pushover, but definitely someone who does not aim to intimidate. So it bothers me when people who are insecure, or people who are ignorant to who I truly am. You know, they'll say things like, you know, intimidation and things like that. But again, at the end of the day, those are the pressures of life that we deal with. You know, when it comes to dating, you know, those things happen, because let's be honest, I can choose to be celibate, and I have done it. I have done it. Many people are also choosing to do that because, again, Jill, no one is lowering their standard, period. Everyone wants to be happy, but people want to find a connection that fits the bill for them. So you have to be on the same path as that person at the same time. You know, it has to line up. It has to line up. But let's talk about it. You know, being celibate versus being a vessel of pleasure. And what I mean by that is this. There are some people that feel like male and women interaction are simply vessels of pleasure. They don't feel that, they don't feel it should go beyond that. They don't feel it should necessarily equal a relationship. Like, okay, we were here to procreate, or we're here to just, you know, give each other pleasure. It's cool if that's your thing, but you have to find someone who's also on that type of
Same
time.
page. Yep.
That's right. That's right. It makes no sense, and it causes headaches later on. If you're actually a person that just is selfish about your needs, there's nothing wrong with your needs, but find someone who has those needs so that y'all could do y'all thing and just continue down your path. You know, do what you do. Do what you do. No one's here judging. You know, it's a judgment-free zone. Remember what we talked about last week, Jill, the Zen zone.
The Zen zone,
the Zen zone. Yeah, that's where I live. I reside in the Zen zone. I have to be Zen. And I actually, Jill, live a life where I protect my peace. It's very important for me to set barriers with people for things that I don't like, for things that I don't agree with, and for things I don't understand. I have to be able to communicate, and I want them to also communicate back, because communication is 2 ways, right? So I'm the sender of the message and you receive the message. Okay, so now you have to interpret it and send it back to me. That's how we communicate.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, right. So at the end of the day, I put in a concerted effort to protect my peace and live in my Zen zone. And I encourage everybody else to do that too. But you have to understand, when you're interacting, out here in this big old world with other people, understand that people have different mindsets.
True.
People view life sometimes, Jill, based on their experiences, just like I do. So if they were traumatized, you may not know that, and something you say or do might trigger them. It's up to them to maybe not delve deep into it, but at least say, hey, you know, this didn't work for me. Can we not do that? You know, I'm not saying they have to explain it, but at least if they give the person a heads up, the person's now on alert. Okay, cool. You don't like that? All right, not a problem. Let's move forward. It's about that. It's about that. And I don't know. I feel like life is simple, but people make it hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it can actually just flow. It can flow. So, you know, in wrapping up today, it's important to elevate our circumstances, right? It's important to elevate your circumstance. You should never be in the same place 5 years ago that you are today.
Very
No,
true. No, no, you're
never.
right. Yep.
Never. That's in finances, that's in love, that's in parenting, that's in goals. You know, I'm using my experiences to win, and my experiences have been rough. I touched on them last week, Jill. I told you about
Yeah.
the book that I wrote. You know, the
Yeah.
book was about my experience. Like, I did not even know I had a paternity issue to even
Amazing.
do. You know what I mean? And then I also shared with the listeners how I've been a parent who had to bury a child. You know,
Mhm.
I've shared with listeners how I had another child who was hit by a drunk driver who was a cop. You know, there's so many social
Mm.
societal norms that have been broke. I've been divorced. You know what I mean? I've dated, I've gone through some of the mishaps, and you still see me here looking cute and
Beautiful.
smiling, you
Love it.
know?
See,
Right,
and one thing
right.
people got to get confidence. Not everybody has this confidence. You can absolutely help anyone boost their confidence. My goodness. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know what's funny, Jill? At
True.
the fashion show yesterday,
Oh
everyone
yeah.
kept
How did
using
it
that
go? That's
word.
right. How did it go?
It was great. It was great. Everyone kept saying, Winsome, I love your confidence. And I'm saying to them, I guess I don't see what they see, Jill, because I'm just being me. I'm just
Yeah.
being me. I'm just literally living my life. I'm not trying to exude anything. I'm not trying to tap in to any particular realm. I literally am just me. I'm literally just Winsome. I love life. I love people, and people genuinely connect with that. They like that. They love my vibe. So this Winsome 2.0, after all those experiences, is a clear
Mhm.
indication to people that you can manifest. You can manifest
Absolutely.
your future. You can manifest your reality. You can actually have sunny days after the rain. I'm telling you, it can work. It can work. It can work. Don't be intimidated. I don't like insecure people. And I wish that everyone would take the time to work on their trauma, whatever that might be. Everyone should work on whatever issues they may have so you could be the best you for whoever you want to connect with. Be prepared for your future, whether it's a new job, whether it's a new man or woman in your life, whether it's a new baby, whether it's a new entrepreneurial gig, whatever
Yeah.
you want to get in life, prep yourself for it. Be ready for that opportunity. So fix yourself and prep yourself to be ready. Use those
Beautiful.
experiences. Yeah, use those experiences to win. Use those experiences to win.
Beautifully said. And we still have 2 minutes left. So in that 2 minutes,
Yes.
what else do you want to share with our listeners today, girl?
Yes.
Don't forget,
So
get the book.
of course, everyone definitely tap in, tap in. It could be found at Amazon. The name of the book is Mind Blown, Mindblown. It is by the author Winsome, which is WIN. The S is a $ OME. And outside of that, I can also be found at www.experience2win.com. So that's experience, the number two, WIN.com. I am all over social media. I am not hard to find. Anyone who would love my services, whether it's creative writing,
Yeah.
author, entrepreneurial. I do speaking engagements as well. I've done public speaking in the past, and I'm looking to definitely blossom and kind of expand my wings into that again. So, of course, My calendar is attached to my website. I'm also on Facebook. Yes. Every social media platform is Experience2WIN. Experience2WIN. So I'm easily found on Instagram, also on my Facebook business page. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I'm on LinkedIn. And I'm also on TikTok. So I am not hard to find. Y'all come check out this pretty face.
And you're a model. What's your agency's name? What's your agency's name?
I currently work for Protege Models. I'm actually getting ready to go over to CD agency. So that's who I'll be working with in the future. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm prepping for, as I said, the fashion shows that are coming up in June and July. I'm excited about, but New York Fashion Week. Woo! I'm ready, baby.
Good. Well, hopefully we'll see you then live and in person too. Well, thank you so much. Winsome Bentley, Experience2WIN. Always a pleasure having you here today. Thank you for boosting our confidence. And I know you can help so many others. Check out our book. Have a great day.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.